Grandkids, they have a way of lifting your heart and breaking it too. I thought I was doing everything right, loving, caring, showing up. But then, one day I heard my grandson call me something that cut deep. Embarrassing. Just one word, and it echoed louder than any shout. My heart cracked. But here's the twist. His teacher, the last person I expected, revealed something I never imagined. A secret my grandson had been carrying all along. And when it came out, everything changed. Stay with me, because you need to hear this. It started on an ordinary afternoon. I had gone to my grandson's school for a special event. You know the kind. Grandparents' Day, where the kids bring you in, show you their classroom, their artwork pinned proudly to the walls. I wore my nicest sweater, the one he once said made me look fancy. I even baked cookies, because isn't that what grandmas do? But the moment I walked in, I noticed it. His face. He wasn't smiling. Instead, he glanced at his friends, then back at me with a look I couldn't quite place. When I leaned down to hug him, he hesitated, pulling back just enough that my arms felt empty. Later, as the kids gathered in little groups, I overheard him. One of his classmates asked who I was, and he muttered, barely loud enough, but I caught it. "That's my grandma. She's kind of embarrassing." Embarrassing. It felt like someone had pulled the floor out from under me. My throat tightened, my cheeks burned. I wanted to disappear right there, fade into the wallpaper like a forgotten decoration. I'd never thought of myself as embarrassing. I thought I was fun, loving, the safe place in his world. I smiled, pretended I hadn't heard, but inside, I broke. I sat in the back of the classroom, my hands clenched in my lap, fighting back tears while the children sang songs and showed off their projects. I nodded, clapped at the right times, but my heart wasn't in it. The whole time, one word echoed in my head: embarrassing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, replaying that moment over and over. His little voice, so casual, cutting me open like a knife. I thought of every visit, every time I'd gone out of my way to make him smile. Did he really see me that way? Did I embarrass him? I remembered being young once, too proud to be seen with older relatives, thinking they were outdated, too different. But to hear it from him, my own grandson, it stung in a way I wasn't prepared for. The next morning, I decided to let it go. Kids say things. They don't always mean them, but still, the ache lingered. A week later, I was back at his school for a parent-teacher meeting. His parents couldn't make it, so I went instead. As I sat across from his teacher, trying to focus on grades and assignments, I must have looked distracted. She paused, tilting her head. "Is something bothering you?" she asked gently. I hesitated. Then the words spilled out before I could stop them. "My grandson, he called me embarrassing." Her eyes softened. She leaned back, folding her hands together. "I don't think you know the full story," she said. My stomach flipped. What did she mean? She went on. "He talks about you all the time. He tells the class about your stories, the cookies you bake, the way you show up to everything. But he also told me something else." I leaned forward, my heart racing. "He's afraid," she said quietly. "Afraid his friends won't think he's cool because you're different. Afraid they'll tease him. But when he thinks no one is listening, he says you're his hero." Hero. The word knocked the breath out of me. My eyes blurred with tears. Embarrassing. And hero. Two sides of a coin I hadn't known existed. Driving home that day, I thought about everything the teacher had said. I realized my grandson wasn't rejecting me. He was wrestling with something bigger. The pressure to fit in. The fear of being different. Kids live in a world where image matters more than it should, where even love gets tangled up in pride. I remembered moments when I, too, had hidden the people I loved out of fear of judgment. A friend with hand-me-down clothes, a cousin whose laugh was too loud. I'd pretended not to know them once, just to protect myself. And the guilt of that memory surfaced, raw and sharp. That night, when I saw my grandson, I didn't scold him. I didn't even bring it up at first. Instead, I watched him. The way he looked at me, quick glances like he was afraid I might pull away. Finally, I sat beside him on the couch. "I heard what you said at school," I said softly. His face flushed, his shoulders hunched. He stared at his shoes, silent. I took a deep breath. "Do you really think I'm embarrassing?" He fidgeted, then whispered, "Sometimes, but not in a bad way. Just, my friends don't get it. They don't know what it's like, and I don't want them to laugh at me." My heart cracked again, but differently this time. It wasn't cruelty, it was fear. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of losing his place among his peers. I touched his hand gently. "Do you know what your teacher told me?" His eyes flicked up nervously. "She said you tell everyone I'm your hero." His face turned red, his eyes wide. "She told you that?" "Yes," I whispered. and it means more to me than you'll ever know." In that moment, something shifted. He squirmed, embarrassed in a different way now, but then he let out a shaky laugh. "I didn't want you to know." "Why not?" I asked. "Because it sounds babyish, and my friends wouldn't understand." I smiled, tears slipping down my cheeks. "You don't have to hide love to be strong. The bravest thing you can do is stand by the people you care about." He leaned against me then, just a little, his small shoulder pressing into my arm. "I don't want to hurt your feelings," he whispered. "You already healed them," I said. From that day forward, things felt different. He still had his moments, rolling his eyes when I fussed too much, tugging away when I hugged him in front of friends. But behind closed doors, he let his guard down. He laughed with me. He told me stories. And once in a while, I caught him bragging about me when he thought I wasn't listening. I realized then that being called embarrassing wasn't the end of the world. In fact, it meant I was visible, present, a force in his life strong enough for him to wrestle with. And yes, sometimes love looks awkward in public, but love is love, even when it makes you stand out. The word hero stayed with me, and though he might not shout it from the rooftops, I carried it in my heart like a medal. Because in the secret language of children, love often hides behind fear. And when that secret came to light, it brought us closer than I ever expected. So here's what I've learned. Sometimes the words that sting the most aren't the whole truth. My grandson once called me embarrassing, and yes, it hurt. But behind that word was fear, not rejection. Behind that word was a child trying to fit in while still carrying love too big to admit. When his teacher exposed his secret, I saw it clearly. I wasn't his shame. I was his pride, his safe place, his hero. If you've ever been called names by someone you love, don't let that be the final word. Look deeper. Because love has a way of hiding, but it's always there. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who understands, and subscribe for more stories that remind us we're never too old to matter.